Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here and get started on a new season. I got a lot of things to accomplish. Obviously, you guys have already heard the tone and the buzzwords, so to speak, about what this season is all about and what we're trying to get accomplished. Defensively, looking at Virginia Lynchburg, again, we don't know a whole lot about them, but have a little bit of film to watch and some couple of good athletes at quarterback. Don't know much about the offensive line. I do know that on the roster that we've seen, there's one returning offensive lineman that's played in the past that's a pretty good size, pretty good looking guy. So he's definitely a guy we'll pay attention to. Skill positions, they look fairly decent at receiver, and have some athletic quarterbacks that can move around and put the ball where they need to go. So those are the guys that we've probably been focusing on the most.
I guess what's kind of that mentality like going into a game where, as you said, there's not a lot of certainty as to what the opponent's going to bring?
Well, it's pretty much the same as Fobbs and Dooley have stated, that our goal is to go out and play our game, for our kids to go work on the things that we've been working on and to make sure that we're getting better at the stuff that we need to get better at. And so obviously we have some objectives that we want to accomplish, particularly the way things ended. We want to make sure that we have the right focus and that we go out and play hard, we limit the mistakes, and that we continue to get better and improve in certain areas. And so that's been our emphasis and our focus during practice every day, trying to make sure we get that done.
This is probably the most experienced you've been, or I can recall on your side of the football in quite some time, which is a nice feeling to start a season.
Yeah, this is the third year in the scheme, and you like to think that at that point you're playing your best football, and you've got guys in it that are now pretty much grooved into what it is that we're trying to do. So we're excited about that. Arquez Cooper's having a great fall camp. We're looking forward to do some exciting things. Blaine Winston transferred in here, and he's having a good fall camp. D'Angelo Gatson is doing a good job. McCray's doing a good job. We got a bunch of guys that are playing pretty good football. A couple experienced DBs out on the edges. Guy Stallworth is having a great fall camp. A couple other guys fitting in there with him. So I like our talent. I like our ability. I like the way they're practicing. Trying to get some of the young guys some reps just to find out where they are, so we know kind of how they fit in, particularly at linebacker.
What is the defense doing well this camp that you really like, and what do you think that, I'm sure there's some room for improvement, every coach thinks that, but what do you think that you would like to really key up on before the first game?
Well, in the forcing unit, the thing I want to do is I want to be more aggressive in the box. I want us to move the line of scrimmage more and attack it and be more aggressive, and I think that's the one thing up front we've done a better job of. In the back end, we want to see us do a better job of coverage and play tighter coverage on receivers, regardless of whether we're playing man or zone. And I think we've done a much better job of that in fall camp. And so that's the improvement that we're seeing. I think we're up front because we're attacking and we're aggressive and we're pressing line of scrimmage more. We're not making those guys stay in coverage so long. And so it's helping them also do a better job of what they do. So I'm pretty pleased with that, pleased with how that's coming along.
Is there an added comfort level starting out the season at home, first time in a while for this program to be able to get out of the gates in their home stadium?
Well, the Hole is an exciting place to play in. And obviously we look forward to opening up the season here, having a great chance for the fans to come out and see us play here, and sets a tone for the rest of the season. So obviously it's a great place to play, and we're excited about it as well as the players are excited about it, and everybody's kind of looking forward to it. I think we're at the point now we're tired of beating up on each other, and I think the kids have done that really, really well. They've gotten after each other this fall camp, so we're looking forward to having a chance to get on to somebody else.
You mentioned Blaine, but you got two big guys coming in transfer. What are your expectations for a guy like Courtney, who's maybe not as experienced as a guy like Blaine, where you can just plug in on the line?
Got to bring him along. Kind of figure out what he can and can't do. And then, as he's learning and fitting into what we do and becoming a better member of what we do, and then we'll work on getting him more. But he's got some learning to do.
You mentioned Cooper and Stallworth and Donovan. Is there a player or two that surprised you that you really didn't expect to be playing well at this particular point in camp?
No, I don't know that anybody has just shocked me, because I try to make sure that I do a good job of keeping up with where we are and you know what the guys are doing and the progress that they're making. I don't know that anybody shocked me. I think Jamil Jackson's probably done some things that have made him become more vital in what we do, from the safety standpoint, because he's made some plays. He's done a good job of coverage and then coming downhill, which is a tough thing for those guys to do because we put them in a tough spot. And so he's looked more like an experienced vet that we expect him to be, running around and making plays. And so I'd say he's done some things that we wanted to see him progress to that point, and so it's good to see him progress to that point. So Samuel Reese finished the year last year rushing the quarterback really well for us, and that carried over through spring ball and also fall camp. And so he's definitely a guy I've got to have on the field on passing downs and let him rush the quarterback because he's done a really, really good job of it. Got a couple of young guys. We want to find out where they are. I think they're learning and they're getting better. They have the size, the temperament, the ability. They just need the experience. You know, Varner's one of those guys that we need to get that for him. Percy Cargo, we need to get that for him. And then Tyler Olivier's back, feeling healthy and expect to get on the field and see him give us some added support at DB at corner.
We saw guys like Blaine and Derek Dixon transfers that they played a lot during the fall camp. We expect big things from them. I'm sure you do as well. You mentioned Courtney. What about the other transfers that you brought in? Where do you see them fitting in the grand scheme of things?
As they continue to get everything done and learn everything, I think down the road, I think they'll help us be more complete. From a scheme standpoint, there are certain things I would like to be able to do. Sometimes I'm limited in terms of how I can do it based on the personnel, but as those guys get acclimated and in the groove and they're learning and they're being more productive on the field, I think it allows us to do more things. And I think that's what Courtney allows us to be able to do, and there are a couple other guys that will be able to allow us to do the same thing. You know, one of the guys is got great length and has the ability to be a good pass rusher off the edge, and you know, but until you know everything is good and working order, I'll hold judgment. Oh, by the way, Derek Dixon is playing his butt off this fall camp, and he gives us a nice compliment to Guy, where Guy's the fired up, run around, knock the snot out of guys. Derek Dixon is kind of the calming, settled, kind of gives us a nice balance back there in the back end. So it's good to have him aboard. It really is.